Still ahead on Global News, are too many kids being prescribed Ritalin? We'll look at the latest study.
Dave Gary meets a man with a powerful compulsion.
And how did a salmon habitat on Vancouver Island end up being damaged? That story after the break.
Well, let me...
If you can't get out on the water this week, Dave Gary may have found the next best thing.
I'm Dave Gary in Abbotsford. Coming up, the unmistakable kitten-like purr of the 1955 Neptune Mighty Mite.
Our Dave Gary has a question for you tonight.
Ever heard of the Bendix Eclipse, the Alto Water Witch, the Clinton Peerless? Well, okay, we don't recognize those names either, but Dave Gary knows a man who does.
In John Durham's suburban garage, there is room for just one car, squeaked in between the memories, standing row on row.
I grew up on an island in northwestern Ontario, and when I went to university, I worked as an outboard mechanic. And years ago, I thought, gee, I wonder if I can find some of those old motors. And you know, I did.
John Durham collects antique outboard motors, nothing over 35 horsepower. And before you think he's a spark plug short of full ignition, you should know that there are at least 2,000 other people across North America who hoard the old kickers too.
There's a magazine?
Oh, yeah.
An antique outboard motor magazine?
You bet.
At one time, there were dozens of outboard manufacturers. Everything from motorcycle makers to pressure cooker companies took a crack at it. The Muncie Gearworks people in Indiana put together one of America's most popular putt-putts.
The famous Neptune Mighty Mite.
John, if you were on a lovely loon-filled lake in your cedar strip canoe, this would chase some of the wildlife away, wouldn't it?
But if you had 30 miles to go in your lovely cedar strip canoe...
Outboard collectors meet to admire form and function. They race the old egg beaters and hand out awards.
I won best original classic with that one in September.
And out back, they've probably all got a secret stockpile.
These were some of the ones I was hoping that you wouldn't see.
One full.
I doubt it.
To really understand what this is all about, you have to watch John Durham wrap a cord around a 70-year-old Johnson A45 and see the look on his face when it fires with just one unlikely tug.
I don't believe it. I really don't.
Will you do this till you drop, do you think?
Well, this will probably drop me.
Dave Gary, Global News, Abbotsford.
We learned a lot about these people. Outboard collectors are somewhat secretive about the value of their collections, but if you would like more information, you can dial our viewer info line.
And if you have a story Dave might be interested in, leave a message on the viewer info line. That number, of course, 872-NEWS. An update for you now on the status of Teddy the blind dog.